yeah, like so when I was graduating from the Art Institute, like in the mid '90s, um, kind of I kind of started like peeling away the sections on Anita Baker songs, because those songs had the structure to me of G-Funk songs in a way, where she had just very uncomplicated drum beats that were hitting, sounds were mixed well, and um, had a very obvious bass line, do 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 do. You know what I mean? Just like for me, just kind of understanding the structure of music, because I really never had any formal training. When I was a kid, like 11 and 12, it was probably 5 years that all I asked for Christmas or any that would have been like the Casio keyboard of that time. Like not the most expensive one, but you know, I spent 6 months looking at a J.C. Penney catalog, like looking at the exact one, going down. Not sure, I didn't even play the piano, so you know, like Jump is your first introduction, right? So anyway, Anita Baker was definitely like an inspiration. The Twinz album was, I mean, whenever I get like salty and feel bad about my career, like, and go, oh, people don't remember me or whatever, like I look at the Twinz as being like one of the most influential groups ever. But the album was so great. That first Twinz album is incredible, and somehow the G-Funk sound kind of got split from there, you know, and went off to Dre, and then, you know, Warren. It's weird, but Warren is crazy, and I know what Dre does. Like, you know, he hears something, and he just does what he does to it that you can't explain. It's in his head, and it's you know, it's an undercoating that can't be replaced. But he has an amazing way of just going, oh yeah, I do that better, and he generally does. I mean, people still can't get drums mixed like early Dre drums. It's crazy. So I was lucky enough to have a very, very great teacher that taught me about the gear that I was about to get into. There's a famous accordion company called Batoza. Like, they would make world famous accordions for everybody all over the world, and they were based out of Seattle. And when I first started getting into buying equipment, I didn't go to where everybody else was buying equipment in Seattle. I just happened to go to like the same place that Mix-a-Lot was buying his gear, which was Potosi. And if you drove by it, you would just think it was like a big accordion shop. But Lionel, the dude in there, he didn't have a whole lot of people that would come in and bend his ear in the kind of music that I was doing, and frankly, the kind of gear that Mix-a-Lot needed. You know, people. Lionel was just incredible, so influential. He had great noodles, and he would just listen to you. And I mean, he taught me kind of everything I needed to know about like the basic sounds of samplers and drum machines, and you know, multi-timbral and all of that. So I was always on the cutting edge with my drum sounds, because I would sample them into an ESI 32, and then I would basically save my sounds onto a SideQuest. I think it was a 270 external hard drive. So I used to have this SideQuest hard drive that had just samples and samples and samples, like for days, and they were 32-bit, and they banged, because I didn't try to over EQ the basic drum sound. So that's just kind of how I kept those. Yeah, the ESI 32 was a difference maker. A lot of people were using the ASR 10, and like a lot of the bigger producers I knew that in the 90s were really on the ASR 10 keyboard version. But I kind of got into rack stuff early with the ESI 32 and an external sampler. I kind of thought, I'm never really going to use any of the sequencers in any of these keyboards, because I was sequencing everything with Cakewalk back then. And so I felt like rack stuff was pretty much hit all the notes I needed.